one common mistake we see a lot of people make is they go, oh, I got to be really good at one thing. And you do, but you need to have other people that can be good at the other areas, right?
Right.
People just, they want to niche down, which is they should sometimes, but sometimes you need to have people that can lead in other areas too.
Yeah, and I think entrepreneurs struggle with that.
Yeah.
I think, as an entrepreneur, you want to micromanage every piece of your business.
Well, that's our tendency, right?
Right.
I can do it better than anybody else can.
Right.
Even
right.
if that's not the case, we think that.
Right. And you feel like you have to be involved
Yep.
in a lot of decisions. I always, when you catch yourself doing things that someone else should be doing, or, let's just say as a leader of an organization, you should be focusing your time on strategic planning, these
Right.
kind of things. If you're doing day-to-day stuff, half your time is put into that. You're not really leading well. And,
Right.
and one way to really sit back and say, hey, the key is, having a vision that you want to execute on. And the only way to do that is to find people that you can develop within your organization,
Right.
or find people that, are very high level, or, that, or have the potential to be high level. See, everyone wants to hire up,
Yep.
but you're either going to hire up or you're going to coach up. It's
Right.
one of the, if you do neither, you're going to end up with very bad results.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point. On last week's episode, we talked through a lot about leadership and extrinsic motivation, intrinsic motivation, and stuff. And so I was really excited as we were having that conversation and knowing what we were going to talk about. I was like, oh, this is all going to tie in together.
It just comes up, doesn't it?
It does. It's hard not to. It's hard not to, right? Again, every time we
Right.
get coffee or something, we talk leadership and business. It's where we go every time. But
Yeah.
but it's been cool to see how you guys have, grown out in those industries, and I think the last, year and a half that we've lived through, it's made people realize, like, you can't always have all your eggs in one basket, right? We had a lot of speaking engagements get canceled, right? Can't have events. But it's okay because we didn't go all in on speaking events, right?
Right.
And it's really helped to make sure that we guard ourselves moving forward, knowing we have stuff already on the books for next year and certain dates, to make sure that we aren't reliant on those things, right?
Right.
Because if anything we've learned, you never know what's going to happen, right? You've seen the retail landscape change.
Yeah.
A lot more online stuff and all just different facets of how your business has evolved. And that's why it's important to have that diversification, to have different products or have different services, or, it can apply to pretty much everybody listening into this, no matter what industry you're in, to have other options, right? If you're heavy in one area and something changes, whatever that might be.
What's the plan B?
What's plan B, right? So being able to kind of diversify yourself, you weather those storms a little bit more. And it's been cool to see that you've been able to not only mitigate your risk and weather any storms, but also like thrive and grow in those situations too.
Right. Oh, yeah. So, definitely have failed for sure. So let me put that out
Yeah.
there. There's things that, that were really, I would say, moments of my entrepreneurship walk, that I really grew from drastic failure.
Yeah.
And it really came down to multiple things. But the main one was the inability to forecast what may happen, right?
Yep.
Because part of being successful is being able to, we all don't know the future, but we have to, in business, we got to say, hey, what could happen?
Right.
And just we get really caught up in what's in front of us. But, I don't want to hear about people's successes all day, because at the end of the day, that's what you see. That's the end game.
Right. You don't see the beginning steps.